Good evening, Tamarin and Pippadot. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a great weekend. As an RAN, if you botched tonight's trivia, Tamarin says, I'll have to hang my head in shame. Then again, I was never an angel of death. Well, that's a good thing. Now, this is the international edition of Angels of Death, so you may not be familiar with all of the people who are on tonight's trivia. So don't feel bad if you don't get all the a lot of the answers. I didn't even know most of these angels of death that are on this trivia tonight. 4 or 5 of them, yes, but majority of them I did not know until I put this together. Really ill today. I'd have to go. Please give everyone my level. I hope you feel better soon, Pippadot. Take care of yourself. That's more important. Kirikou, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Gianna Marie is here, ladies and gentlemen. Gianna Marie. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a pleasant weekend. But again, this is on Angels of Death, Killer Nurses. This is the international edition. They're not all from around, from like one country. And I knew maybe 4 or 5 of these, killer nurses before I put this together, and I did not know of the rest of them. So maybe you had a chance to read up on it in the past week. Maybe you know more about killer nurses than I did. But I'm sure we'll all do the best we can. We'll give it our shot. Give it a couple more minutes. Wait for everybody to jump in. Good evening, Inner Peas and Cement Shoes. Good evening. Welcome both of you to tonight's trivia. I hope you both had a great weekend. Kitty Q, I started taking notes and was like, oh my God, this is pointless. There are so many. According to my notes, Kitty Q, there are 138 angels of death, killer nurses. And no, we are not going to get even a drop into it. We only do 20 questions, and 4 or 5 of them are from America. The rest of them are from Great Britain. Some of them were traveling nurses, so they may have been born or had their license out of one country, but they traveled, and as they traveled, they killed. So we're going to learn together about a lot of these individuals. Juicy Jules. Good evening, Juicy Jules, and welcome to tonight's trivia. Excuse me. I like to do these games blind, test my theories on serial killers. Yeah, we all have our own thing that we do. I know probably more about Ed Kemper, than a lot of people. But yeah, I just find him interesting. So I read up on, just anytime I come across an article on Ed Kemper, I always, find myself, gravitated, towards it and reading it, then looking into the background of whoever wrote the article. I mean, journalism has definitely taken a slide in the wrong direction. I would say in the last 10 years, it's gotten awful. Sorry I missed you all, Maureen Will. Hope you had a nice vacay. I did. Thank you very much, NRPs. I had a very pleasant, relaxing, week. I needed it. recharge those batteries, get rid of all the, the excess information, just do like a brain dump, get it all out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the trivia going. All clear? And bit taker, hold on, I'm getting feedback from the speaker. I don't want you guys to freak out for that high pitched tone. There, turn it down a little bit so it's not as annoying. Nobody wants to hear that. All right, let's get the trivia going. This is the 319th episode of Trivia, and good evening, Sal. Late but here. Oh, you're right on time, Sal. We haven't even started yet, and I had a great vacation, Sal. Thank you for asking. All right, 319th episode of Trivia. Tonight's trivia is all on Killer Nurses, Angels of Death. This is the international edition. Some of the content covered and seen on this stream may not be suitable for all ages or all audiences. I have restricted access by law to 16 years of age plus on all platforms, in accordance with U.S. and state laws under RCW 26.28.080. I have to read that by law in my state because the state that I live in is run by a bunch of idiots who think that, hey, you're going to, broadcast this to 5-year-olds. No, I'm not. I'm not Barney. But anyways, it's also against the law to disseminate this content, or access this content if you're under the age of 16. If you're doing so, it is not my fault. Question number 1 of Killer Nurses Worldwide Edition is now on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. There are 4 major types of angels of death, killer nurses. Which one of the 4 major types is the hardest to catch and convict? Is it A, mercy killer, B, sadistic killer, C, hero killer, or D, pathological killer? There are 4 major types of killer angels of death, killer nurses. Which one of the 4 major types is the hardest to convict and catch? Get Will in his little window. Hello, everyone. This is little mini Will in the corner. Not if a 5-year-old has good parents, right? You'd be surprised, though, Kitty Q. I know quite a few, unfortunately, parents who use, tablets and cell phones and computers as their babysitter for their children. They just hand them a device and say, just keep it quiet. It's sad. But unfortunately, I know quite a few kids that are like that, who live in households like that. 4 major types of angel of death, killer nurses. Before I put this trivia together, if somebody asked me how many different types of killer nurses there are in the world, I never would have guessed that there are only 4 major types. I would have guessed a whole lot more than just the possible answers here. Mercy, sadistic, hero, or pathological. And the individual you see in the picture there is Donald Harvey. He was convicted of killing 37 and most likely killed 57 patients. So that is, the picture there is Donald Harvey. We'll learn more about Donald Harvey later in the trivia. All right, question number 1. The correct answer is C as in cat. And good evening, Meep. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Hero killers are the hardest to catch and to convict. The reason why they're the hardest to catch is because they are seen as the person who is, rushing in to try to save the patient. And in the court of law, around the world, not just in the United States, they come off as sympathetic, and people, are sympathetic to them. They're like, hey, maybe they really didn't do this, try to kill the patient or kill the patient. They tried to save them, but they come off, they're the hardest to catch and the hardest to convict. And that is around the world, except for in Saudi Arabia, where they just straight kill you for killing other people. All right. Next question. Question number 2. Without his complete confession, they never would have been able to convict Michael Swago of anything. What strange reason did he give for his attempted murders? Was it A, he enjoyed watching them suffer? B, he had a dream? C, he got a reward for saving them? Or D, boredom? Without his complete confession, they never would have been able to convict Michael Swago of anything. What strange reason did he give for his attempted murders? Good evening, Mel, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a great weekend. And make sure you're on live chat, not top chat. That's somebody who messaged me after yesterday's morning stream and asked why I never replied back to their comment. I never saw their comment until afterwards, and I went back and looked and found it. Kitty K is going to go with C, question mark. Hitter P is an E, binge watching the Jersey Shore. Boredom is Meat's guess. Cameron, he was holding a mountain lion hostage in a Yugo. Pippa.D, question mark, question mark. Question number 2. That is, this picture is of Michael Swago, the angel of death himself. What a lovely individual he is. All right, question number 2. The correct answer is B as in boy. He believed that he had a dream, but he believed in the dream that he was given a message from God himself, not Jesus, but the head honcho himself up above him, came to him in a dream and told him to do this. And he believed it. And he's like, oh, okay, God wants me to kill people, so that's what I'm going to do. He believed it because it was all a dream. Good evening, Lemon Pie. Welcome to tonight's trivia. All right. I had to scroll through the comments there. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. All right. Question number 3. For 17 years, Donald Harvey decided on his own who lived and who died. By the time he was 20 years of age, how many had he killed by the age of 20? Was it A, 39, B, 67, C, 14, or D, 19? For 17 years, Donald Harvey decided on his own who lived and who died. By the time he was 20, how many had he killed? Blame it on the Sandman? Yeah. For the record, though, law enforcement and neither did the DA believe his, confession that, that how many he killed, how many he hurt, how many he saved, and that God came to him. They believed most of it was, complete, bull. But without his confession, though, they never would have been able to convict him. All they had up to that point was circumstantial evidence to it all. Question number 3. Donald Harvey decided on his own who lived and who died. How many had he killed by the age of 20? And good evening, Heather, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a great weekend. Question number 3. The correct answer is D as in dog. D as in dog. 19 individuals is how many he killed by the age of 20. Donald Harvey would go on to kill a lot more than that. Again, he was convicted of killing 37, but they believe his actual body count was 57. All right. Did you know? According to a study conducted by the FBI and the Department of Justice on serial crimes and murders, patterns in serial killings have been identified over the years. Notably, one such pattern is observed that a spike in serial killings following a presidential election. And this is a presidential election year in America. They studied data from 1920 through 2020 reveals a trend, despite the fact that the term serial killer wasn't officially coined until 1970s by FBI profiler Robert Ressler. But following presidential elections in America, it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican or Whig Party or whatever, but only from 1920 to 2020, they saw a spike in serial crime murders, after a presidential election. So after this election, do me a favor and stay home. I need more subscribers, not less. So stay home. Question number 4. She acted like any other nurse. People found her to be helpful, kind, and have empathy to patients suffering. Who is this monster? Is it A, Lucy Letby, B, Lucy Letbetter, C, Lori Vallow Daybell, or D, Lori Norris? Yeah, it doesn't say lemon pie. If they were disappointed voters, then that's what made the serial killers more active after a presidential election. But in the short period of time, I think it was, don't quote me on this, but I think it was a 4-month period after the election is when they saw a spike. Every time there's a presidential election, so every 4 years, boom, 4 months afterwards, boom, a spike in serial murders. E, Lucy Van Helsing. That's good, Cameron. Nurse Ratched. What was it? Nurse Ratched? Wasn't that from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Which was a great movie, by the way. I think One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is probably my second favorite movie. I would say The Shining would be number 1. I mean, but I'm talking about just the actor, and his name is right there, but it's escaping me. I had to Google Nurse Ratched. Smoke them if you got them. Yes, says me and SR. Good evening, SR, and welcome to tonight's trivia. Question number 4. She acted like any other nurse, and people found her to be helpful, kind, and have empathy to patients suffering. Who is this monster? Question number 4. This is A as in apple, Lucy Letby. Jack Nicholson. Thank you, Cameron. Jack Nicholson. But I'd like Jack Nicholson a lot more in The Shining than and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But don't get me wrong, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is an excellent movie. All right. Question number 5. I went to work on that Thursday with no intention to harm anyone. Something I can't explain just snapped in me. Who said this? Was it A, Lucy Letby, B, Kristen Gilbert, C, Beverly Ollett, or D, Charles Cullen? I went to work on that Thursday with no intention of harming anyone. Something I can't explain just snapped in me. SR says Jack Nicholson once picked me and my BF when we were hitchhiking along. But at least it was him and not a psychopath. And good evening, Jude. Welcome to today's trivia, Jude. I hope you've been doing well. And I hope you had a great weekend. I've probably in my entire lifetime maybe picked up 2 hitchhikers. That I like the joke, that the people say, man pulls over, picks up a hitchhiker, and the hitchhiker turns to the driver and says, "Man, thank you for picking me up. I've been out there for a while. Weren't you worried that I could be a serial killer?" And then the driver looks back at the passenger, the hitchhiker he just picked up, and says, "What are the odds of 2 serial killers being in the same car at the same time?" Done. Done. Question number 5. I went to work on that Thursday with no intention of harming anyone. Something I can't explain just snapped at me. Who said this? The correct answer is D, as in dog. Charles Cullen. On the day that he killed, you're talking about the first patient that he actually hurt on purpose. It was on a Thursday afternoon. He just went to work and he said he couldn't understand why he did it, but he did it. What a psychopath Charles Cullen is. Question number 6. According to the FBI, this killer nurse is the only one known to target veterans and only veterans. Her reasoning is bizarre. Who is this? Is it A, Charles Cullen, B, Kristen Gilbert, C, Samantha Norris, or D, Lucy Letby? According to the FBI, this killer nurse is the only known killer nurse or angel of death who targeted veterans and veterans only. Doctor Sleep is now my favorite over Shining. Remember Miss Geraldine? The devil, that went flying by really quick. The devil made her do it. Every time I hear or read the word Geraldine, I always think of Geraldine Ferraro. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe there's not a lot of Geraldines that come across my desk. Kitty Q's going B, ? Tamarin, Pippadot, and Anna Marie are all going with B. Question number 6. Tamarin says Hillary Clinton. In her P's, E, Mother Teresa. According to the FBI, this killer nurse is the only one known to target veterans and only veterans. Her reasoning is bizarre. Who is this? Question number 6. The correct answer is B, as in boy. This is Kristen Gilbert. She targeted veterans, and when law enforcement approached her and asked her why she targeted only veterans who were in rehabilitation centers and outpatient centers who were coming to them for rehabbing after surgery and other things like that. The reasons why they ended up in her facility where she worked. She said, "I did it because I was never in the armed services." That was her reasoning. I did it because I was never in the armed services. What? You went after a vulnerable part of society, veterans who honorably served their country because you were never in the service? That's just bizarre. Excuse me. All right. Did you know there are more uncaught serial killers who hunted and killed in America between the years of 1960 and 1990 that have ever been caught? The data suggests there may be as many as 4 times the ones caught. So if we keep on playing trivia night, we may run out of serial killers to learn about around the year 2057, unless more are caught. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that we may run out of trivia subjects by the year 2057 if we keep on going at this rate, unless more are caught. That's just how many serial killers are out there. Question number 7. What is the number one method to kill a patient in either a hospital or in a rehab facility, according to the FBI, by a nurse? Is it A, strangulation, B, suffocation with a pillow, C, drug overdose, or D, read them Chad Daybell's books? Yeah, she did take a lot of patients' medications as well. Well, I'm not likely to be around in the year 2057. We'll see how it goes, Mel. We'll see how it goes. Miss Murder. Good evening, Miss Murder. I hope that you are doing great. Been following you, trying to keep up with you on Facebook. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Heather, C and D. Kitty question mark, C question mark. Question number 7 of 20. What is the number one method to kill a patient in either a hospital or a rehab facility, according to the FBI, by a nurse? Miss Murder Australia. But now it's just Miss Murder. Or at least the profile here says Miss Murder. All right, question number 7. The correct answer is C, as in cat. Drug overdose is the number one most used method to kill a patient in either the hospital or in a rehab facility, according to the data with the FBI by a nurse. Keeping the view on the TV. We used to refer to smothering patients with a pillow as therapy. What? Pillow therapy? All right. Question number 8. During Charles Cullen's professional career as a nurse, the FBI believes he likely killed blank number of patients, but they can only prove 29. Was it A, 83, B, 93, C, 403, or D, 203? During Charles Cullen's professional career as a nurse, the FBI believes he likely killed blank number of patients. I'm reading The Good Doctor again. Good book. I don't believe I've read The Good Doctor. I'll have to look into that, Miss Murder. Cameron's going with 83. Sal and Lemon Pie and Miss Murder are going with D. Question number 8 of 20. Enter P is E1999. I can't sing like Prince, so that's as much as we're going to get from me. Kitty Q, question mark, Pippadot, and Mel are going with A. How long was he a nurse? Meep? I do not know. But he is in prison right now, and that is pretty much what he looks like to this day. He's got a little bit more gray in his hair, but Harold Shipman, a UK doctor, killed old ladies. Yes. Harold Shipman. Dr. Harold Shipman. What a psychopath he is. Is sadistic too. Sadistic psychopath. He killed people. Dr. Shipman killed people because he said he wanted to end their suffering. Nobody believes him. Because some of them weren't even suffering. They were just old. Question number 8. The correct answer is actually D as in dog. 203 is what they believe he actually killed, was 203 patients. Don't look at Wikipedia. If you're on Wikipedia, close it, because his Wikipedia page on Charles Cullen is wrong about so many things. I've sent 8 different updates with sources to the correct information to Wikipedia, but they haven't fixed a lot of it. Like his military time that he was actually in, that's wrong on Wikipedia. Where he lived and grew up, it's close, but it's not the right city. I miss your stream. I still remember having fun with my friend on that music trivia you had. Miss Murder, Australia. Yes. All right, question number 9. In the extremely popular interview with 60 Minutes, the US version, this is not the Australian version, 60 Minutes US. Collins said, if I was to do it all over again, what would have stopped him from killing? Was it A, never leaving the Navy, B, psychological help, C, never having access to drugs, or D, getting a pet mountain lion? In the extremely popular interview with 60 Minutes US, Collins said if he was to do it all over again, what would stop him from killing? It looks like the Timu version of Jeffrey Dahmer. It's funny. Put some Jeffrey Dahmer glasses on him. He does look a lot like him, doesn't he? not wearing E, not wearing white after Labor Day. An autographed mountain lion. Question number 9 of 20. Ooh, Pippadot. Still hanging in there, Pippadot. Good. Pippadot, Cement Shoes, and John and Marie are all going with C. Meep is going with B and C. E, the return of the McRib. Oh, I think they killed the McRib for good. I read something about that it was never coming back. I don't know why. It's extremely popular. I would never eat it, but some people like it. To each their own. Or never being Chad Daybell's fluffer. You're bad, Cement Shoes. All right, question number 9. In an extremely popular interview with 60 Minutes US, Colin said if he was ever to do it all over again, what would stop him from killing? The correct answer is A as in apple. He said if he never would have left the Navy in the first place, he would never have been tempted to kill in the first place. A as in apple, never leaving the Navy. I don't believe it's true. I believe that he would have been killing in the Navy. In the Navy. There's a song there, huh? All right. Question number 10. Eventually, you'll go to 10. Beverly Gale Ollett served her 30 years in prison and was able to walk out the doors a free lady. Instead, what did the Crown Court, that's the court system in the UK, maybe other places as well, but what did the Crown Court decide to do with her? Was it A, they sent her to New Zealand, B, relocated her to New York, C, sent her to Scotland, or D, locked her up in a mental ward? Yes, there are a few interesting stories lately out of Oz. Beverly Gale Ollett served her 30 years in prison and was able to walk out the doors a free lady. Instead of what did the Crown Court decide to do with her? Question number 10 of 20. Karen Cadall. Good evening, Karen. Welcome to tonight's trivia. And we got me, Gianna Marie, Karen, and Mel are all going with D. I thought I saw some more D's that went flying by there. Yep, Kitty Q, Miss Murder, Sal, all going with D's. I think they locked her up in a mental ward, huh? Lemon pie. She's a Walmart greeter. And somehow she's going with D as well. Oh. Welcome to Walmart. Here's Beverly and Gale at the door. I need to see your receipt. All right, question number 10. The correct answer is D as in dog. They locked her up in a mental ward where has been committed ever since. She will never get out of the mental ward. They believe that she is a harm to not only the society, they believe that she is a harm to possibly harmful to herself as well. All right. That is our first 10 questions. This is the time when we normally take our break. We take a 6-minute break. Now, I will be back. I have to go unlock a door in my house because somebody can't find the dang key. But you stay safe and watch out for Snooky and mountain lions. They're both sneaky and they could jump out from behind any corner. But otherwise, we'll be on break for the next 6 minutes. I'm back. My wife couldn't find the key to the storage container cabinet in our house. So I have a key. I went and locked it. We got 2 minutes left. Too bad they don't do that here. Lock them up in asylums when they not get out of jail. In the state that I live in, cement shoes, they have if an inmate serves out their time in prison, they can be involuntarily committed to a state mental hospital or another prison that maybe they're leaving for like max, super max. We don't have super max here, but we have maybe they're high security. They can be committed to a mental hospital indefinitely once they've served out their sentence. It happens a lot more with sex offenders than those who have committed crimes against children. SA. Frying some mushrooms and onions with bacon. Ooh, that sounds good. Are you just gonna eat just the mushrooms and onions and bacon? I mean, nothing wrong with that. I don't know if you're putting it on something or just eating it by itself. Still sounds good. My wife won't eat mushrooms. She says they're disgusting. Doesn't matter what kind of mushroom it is. She's like, I'm not eating no fungus. I'm like, alrighty. And we're at 10 seconds, and then we're back. Alrighty. Question number 11. Question 11 is now on your screen. Put it that on a burger with cheese. Ooh, that sounds good. All right. Killer nurses have given a lot of reasons for doing what they did. One of the strangest, though, has to be the reason of Jane Toppan gave. What was her reason for killing? Was it A, husband made her kill others? B, sexual fetish? C, God made her do it? Or D, the devil made her do it? Killer nurses have given a lot of reasons for doing what they did. One of the strangest, though, has to be the reason of Jane Toppan gave. What was her reason for killing patients? It keeps putting me back on top chat. Wow. I'm sorry. I've seen something like that happen before, Cement Shoes. Cement Shoes and Kitty Q are both going with B. Karen is going with C. Question number 11. E, the situation. The situation made her do it. Tamara going with A. Pippa B. Gianmarie C. We got a little bit of everything for answers so far. I wish stupid top chat wasn't even an option. Top chat is one of those things. It's a leftover relic from when YouTube first started offering streaming. There's a lot of things like that they need to fix. Heather's going with B. All right, question number 11. The correct answer is B as in boy. The reason she gave for why she was killing patients was a sexual fetish. Sexual fetish is why she said she did it. All righty, I guess. To each their own. Maybe she got off on it and excited her. I don't know. Don't know much about Jane Toppan. Toppan. How do you pronounce it? Did you know the calling card killer? I bet you haven't heard of this serial killer. How about their other nickname, the 5 and Dime Slasher? This uncaught serial killer worked the East Coast of the U.S. and from South Carolina to New York in the early 1980s. leaving a never registered long distance calling card with each victim. The FBI believes they may have claimed as many as 6 to 10 victims. Until I came across this question, I had forgotten all about calling cards. Remember that? Your landline, you had to have a either have a long distance package, or you had to have a calling card if you wanted to use a pay phone and call long distance. I've forgotten all about calling cards. Five and Dime Slasher was their other nickname. Question number 12. Sir, sentenced to 61 years to life, he does have a chance at parole. No joke. Who is this bearded man? Is this A, Richard Cullen, B, Richard Davis, C, Richard Angelo, or D, Richard Ricky Ricardo Jr.? Question number 12 of 20. She was normal, and then she got stood up at the altar and went off on the deep end. Kirikou, I have her on my list, but I didn't get to her. Oh, I was thinking playing cards, like calling cards, like a whole plastic cards or cardboard card that have a number on it. You had to scratch off on the back, kind of like a gift card, and that would reveal a code. So you get them, but the cards were unactivated. But that's why they haven't been able to ever catch that serial killer. So they don't know who it is, because none of the cards that they've found have ever been activated. The reason why the FBI believes it's between 6 to 10 victims is because they believe there possibly is other victims they just haven't found. Damn. Excuse me for coughing. Richard Nixon says, interviews, I am not a crook. Sentenced to 61 years to life. He does have a chance at parole. No joke. Who is this bearded man? Question number 12 of 20. George Lucas. It kind of looks like George Lucas. I don't think it's him, though. It's funny. Kind of remember those cards, says Sal. I've forgotten all about them. It's like a gone by, thing that was part of everybody's life. I guess if they didn't have long distance, or they used a payphone. I mean, well, I can't remember the last time I saw a payphone. I think it was in an airport. Was the last time I saw even a payphone. They were there everywhere, growing up, and now they're all gone. Now that everybody has little computers in their pockets and can call anybody. John Holmes. There's a name I wish I forgot. I still didn't know who he was. John Holmes. All right, question number 12. This bearded man is none other than left-handed RN for the win, just in time. C as in cat, Richard Angelo. Richard Angelo. And good evening, left-handed RN. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Question number 13. Although a doctor for most of his career, he was an NP in his early years. How many patients do they believe Dr. John Adams killed? Now, we're looking for the number of how many he killed as a nurse and then as a doctor combined, because he was an NP, nurse practitioner, and before he became an actual doctor. Is it A, 183, B, 163, C, 219, or D, 154? Are they still in airports, payphones? I know, Sal, the last time I saw one was at airport. That's probably been 3 or 4 years ago. I was at SeaTac Airport in Seattle, Tacoma area. That's why it's called SeaTac. But that was the last time I remember seeing a payphone. I don't even know if they're around anymore, anywhere. I mean, you see them in television, shows. You know, I would love to get myself like in one of those old British wooden payphone booths, and then paint it blue. You guys get that reference? I think it'd be great to have right in my living room, blue paint booth, payphone booth. No, nobody. Jesus, I thought that was the Nazi Himmler. That is Dr. John Adams. Question number 13 of 20. The correct answer to question 13 is B as in boy, 163 combined patients they believe he killed as a nurse practitioner and then as a doctor. Dr. John Adams, 163 patients. Doctor Who? Yes, cement shoes. Doctor Who reference, blue painted phone booth. I think it'd be cool to have one in my living room. I don't know how long it would stay blue. My son would probably put stickers on it. All right. Question number 14. Richard Angelo, by his own account, was playing a game. He truly believed he wasn't doing harm. What was his game called? Was it A, Save Mercy, B, Walking the Line, C, Sleeping with Devil, or D, Southern Comfort? Richard Angelo, by his own account, was playing a game. He truly believed he wasn't doing any harm. What was his game called? Question number 14 of 20. Spanking my monkey. Something shoes is going with B, and so is me. Gianna Marie, A. Sal is going with B. Sorry, B. Richard Angelo, by his own account, was playing a game. He truly believed he wasn't doing any harm. And oddly, Richard Angelo, as part of his sit-down, conversations with police after he was, they brought him in, he was arrested, and they're sitting and talking with him. He really believed that he was doing, the patients, each and every one of them, he was doing the best for them. But when he decided to take their lives, he was doing it because, again, just like Dr. Shipman, believed that he was helping the patient and their misery and their pain. But unfortunately for Richard Angelo, some of the people that he is accused of killing weren't in the end of their life, or they weren't in pain. Some of them had been in because they had surgery. One individual was in because he had his appendix removed, and he killed him. That shouldn't have killed the patient. The patient's not going to die after having their appendix removed, but he still did it anyways. What was the name of the game he was playing with the patient's lives, who wins and who loses, who lives and who dies. The name of his game was called D as in dog, Southern Comfort. He named it after his favorite drink, Southern Comfort, because when Richard Angelo was not at work, he drank himself damn near to death multiple times to try to escape, the memories of the things that he was doing at work to these patients. And he was not, well, just say that he was not ending patients, suffering. In a lot of cases, he was causing suffering, before the patient would succumb to whatever he had done. Richard Angelo, a true sadistic, psychopath. Question number 15. Jeannie Ann Jones is an American serial killer you very well may have never heard of. How many children is she believed to have killed? Is it A, 80, B, 70, C, 60, or D, 50? Pie. Well, where's Waldo? Waldo the Weird. Question number 15 of 20. Janine Ann Jones is an American serial killer you very well may not have heard of. How many children was she believed to have killed? This one comes to us directly from the FBI. The photo that you see her here is when she was actually in court for sentencing. But it's a related article that was cited in the FBI's coverage of the actual case itself, because it was a state crime and a federal crime. I read a book about her 30 years ago when she was first in prison. Damn, I thought that was Tony Curtis. She's butch. That doesn't look like Tony Curtis. That's funny though. And she's somebody's mama behind bars. Question number 15 of 20. A, Karen going with C, Cement Shoes D, Sal C, Heather C. Gilbert called and he wants his glasses back. Meep C, Lemon Pie B, Gianna Marie A, Kitty Q C. Quite the looker, isn't she? Right? All right, question number 15. The correct answer is C as in cat, 60. The FBI believes that she killed at least 60 children. Why did she kill them? Me, I have no clue on why she did it. I know what she said, why she did it, but I mean, it's like listening to an habitual liar. She lied about everything about the case, the evidence, where she was, if she was involved, if she knew the patient. She lied about everything. So to take it'd be just another one of excuses. There's no excuse to kill children or anyone, but yet she came up with an excuse. They all come up with an excuse. All right, question number 16. Before Janine Jones became a nurse, she worked as a nightclub promoter and as blank and then as what? Fill in the two blanks. Was she A, a beautician and janitor. B, a stripper and beautician. C, a go-go dancer and a politician. Or D, a go-go dancer and a beautician. Before Janine Jones became a nurse, she worked as a nightclub promoter and as what? This is her here without the glasses on, obviously thinner. This is the same lady as right there on question number 15. Same lady. But what other two jobs did she have before she became a nightclub? Well, she was a nightclub promoter, and what else? Two other jobs. Nurses that kill with drugs love using insulin. So choline. I don't know how to pronounce that last one. Curium, I guess, and diggy oxen. Cement Shoes going with A. Gianna Marie and Lemon Pie and Pippa Dot are all going with A. Pretty ugly stripper, though, said Sal. And question number 16 of 20. Lemon Pie. E. A View co-host. She sat right next to Whoopi Goldberg. A politician and a politician. Kitty Q's going with D. Question mark. Karen's going with A. Heather is going with A as well, and so is Meat. She could have been the president of the Too Ugly to Live crew club. Question number 16. The correct answer is A as in apple. She was a nightclub promoter, a beautician, and a janitor before becoming a nurse. She got paid to keep her clothes on, Sal. The original stripper. Says Meat. All right. Did you know? Interesting hobbies and skills serial killers have had. Ed Kemper can read an article from a newspaper or book and recite it completely without any errors. He has a complete photogenic memory. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, learned how to sew and do cross-stitch and needlepoint without needles while in jail. Not in prison. He learned this in jail, in the LA County Jail, using a paper clip and threads from other clothing to do needlepoint stitching and other like crafts and stuff that they make them out of. They make all kinds of things. But he does it with two paper clips. That's some skill right there, Richard. Now you can't unsee it. She makes a lot of money. All the men covering their eyes, throwing money, screaming, put it on, put it on. Bill Clinton's bikini waxers, says Tamara. Oh boy, you guys have got such an imagination. Question number 17. Which one from the list below was the main weapon of choice that Janine Jones used to take lives of up to 60 patients? Was it A, heroin, B, Oxycontin, C, Diggy Oxen, I think that's how you pronounce it, or D, insulin? This is what she looked like when she was younger and a nurse. Same lady. Last two questions in this one. Same lady. How her looks have changed over the years. Tamlin's going with D. Which one from the list below was the main weapon of choice of Janine Jones used to take up the 60 lives of patients? Kitty Coo's going with C. Pepper C. Left-handed RN's going with C. Dig lot. Is that how you pronounce it? Dig oxen? Dig lot, dig it, Will. So is it dig oxen? I guess. I don't even know what it is. What is it? Dig oxen. Like, dig it. What is it? Is it like a muscle relaxant? I don't know what it is. I guess I'm not going to become a killer nurse. I don't even know what the heck it is. Yeah, let's go with C. Oh, it's a heart medication? Oh, thank you, Lieutenant RN. Soft G sound. Dioxin increases cardiac output. South is the heart medicine as well. Is digoxin. I've heard of a lot of murders with whatever stops the heart, but you're 100% aware. Oh, that sucks. Why would you want to do that to somebody? All right, question number 17. The correct answer is C, as in cat, whatever that medication is, the heart medication is what I'm getting. But that is what she used to kill up to 60 patients. Holly Shore movie marathon. All right, question number 18. Eventually. Oh, whoa, went too far. 18. Orville Lynn Majors was a sadistic serial killer and nurse. He didn't try to end patients' pain. He wanted them to suffer. How many patients did he inject with air to watch them suffer? Was it A, 9, B, 6, C, 32, or D, 67? Made you think of Tales from the Crypt? I love Tales from the Crypt. I missed that show. Yeah. I probably watched every episode of Tales from the Crypt when it first came out. In case you're wondering, Orville Lynn Majors now refers to themselves in that pronoun, them, and is now a cross-dresser behind bars, or was. I don't even know if the idiot's still alive. But I did come across 2 articles of, about Orville Lynn Majors, being a cross-dresser behind bars. I'm following Cement's lead, LOL. Only the ones that read Chad Daybell's books. Think you got the death penalty, Orville Lynn Majors? Pippin going with A. Heather's going with B. Orville Lynn Majors was a sadistic serial killer and nurse. He didn't try to end patients' pain. He wanted them to suffer. How many patients did he inject with air to watch them suffer? Question number 18 of 20. The correct answer is B, as in boy. 6 of them. 6 of them. He injected air, a syringe full of air, into their veins to watch them suffer. Wasn't too keen on the last season where it went to the UK of Tales from the Crypt. Question number 19. And it's doubling up. Sorry. Orville Majors was convicted of only killing 6 patients over an 11-month period. How many murders was he linked to in the end? Was it A, 130, B, 179, C, 289, or D, 144,000? I'd be homicidal if my name was Orville. After his conviction, they completed the entire investigation into all of the deaths that they deemed to be suspicious, or or a patient died under suspicious circumstances, and they found an awful lot of patients that Orville Majors had contact with that died. In some weeks, it was up to 4 patients per week, over and over again, that died that were directly connected to Orville. And then there was more on top of that, where there were some patients that they would lose 8, 9, 10 patients a week, and Orville had access to each and every one of those patients. Did he kill them? They may never know. A lot of the evidence is gone now that when they go back and try to exhume the bodies to try to figure out, did he do something to these patients to cause their deaths? Cameron Hall, not if you were an Orville Redenbacher, who has a very interesting life story. The Orville Redenbacher. There's a really good documentary about how he got into the popcorn and corn business in the first place. I think you might be able to find it on YouTube. It's a very interesting documentary, though. You would think it'd be a boring subject matter. I mean, the man made popcorn, but it's a lot more than that. With all his money, I'd have to change my damn name. All right, question number 19. The correct answer is A as in apple, 130. Keep in mind, this is over an 11-month period. 11 months. They found 130 patients who died under any suspicious circumstances, or the cause of death was suspicious in nature. But they don't know if did he kill these patients, or was it just like a run of bad luck, or something else, that caused the deaths of these patients. But the investigation did not conclude officially until after Orville's sentencing. Question number 20. Niles Hogel, a nurse with a passion for death, not life, was convicted of the second most cases of murder ever by a nurse. How many? Is it A, 494, B, 720, C, 85, or D, 110? Is his grandson still around? Orville Redenbacher? I do not know, but that's what we're talking about. Niles Hogel, a nurse with a passion for death, not life, was convicted of the second most cases of murder ever. How many? So that Shoes is going with C, lemon pie, B, and Cameron is going with A. Kitty Coop, C, Sal, B, Meep, A. How many people was he convicted of murdering? Question number 20 of 20. And don't forget, we have a case of missing or an endangered individual still after the trivia is over with. And I have a link as well that I'll share with you on a documentary for the U.S. version of the 60 Minutes interview with serial killers. But the link I have is for Charles Cullen. I do not know the people who put it up. I don't know anything from 60 Minutes, nor do I get paid to direct traffic to 60 Minutes. I just do it because it's the right thing to do. Was he an American or maybe British? Niles Hogel? I did not write that down. I am truly sorry, Sal. I have other notes on him, but I do not have that. He looks like Ariel Castro in that picture. Old Frank Perdue from Purdue Chicken. And then the comment went flying by. Used to give me the heebie-jeebies. His dad and grandma were nurses too. Niles Hogel, how many? The correct answer, question number 20, is C as in cat, 85. 85 murders by Niles as a nurse. All right. How did you do on tonight's trivia? This is completely optional to give yourself a letter grade. You don't have to. Some people like to keep score, some people don't. We are only playing for fun and entertainment purposes. No, we're not here to make fun of anyone, nor are we here to say that we're better than somebody else. If you want to keep score, you can, and you can give yourself a letter grade. Of the 20 questions tonight on tonight's trivia, I knew exactly 9 of them before we did tonight's trivia, so I would have gotten myself a solid C. I knew 9 of the answers before I put this together. Of those, I was most familiar with Lucy Letby because she's been in the news lately. Kiddo got a C as well. I stink. This was the world edition of Killer Nurses. Again, everyone give kudos to Cement Shoes. Cement Shoes was the one who suggested this content for tonight. I believe it was August 3rd that Cement Shoes suggested it, but I didn't write it down, or could have been the 4th. But either way, the idea came from Cement Shoes. So thank you again, Cement Shoes, for the suggestion. I suck out loud tonight. Not well, probably a D, but had a great time. Good. All right. We still have the next. You can help solve a cold case of someone missing or deceased. You may think you don't know much or you didn't see much. The tiny little piece may be the one piece that helps close a case and brings closure to a family. Wouldn't you want someone to do the same for you if your family was this situation? Don't call in the tip next week. Do it now. I am working with all of the following groups to bring these cases to your attention. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Name Us, and the Charlie Project, along with the FBI. I do not get paid for this. I don't know why people think that I do. I don't know, but I see it in the comments of every stream. But anyways, I'm doing this to bring a greater awareness to these cases and that are out there that people are missing. Maybe they're from your area, maybe they're not. But there might be someone who a picture will strike a memory or something, and they may know just the tiniest little thing, like, hey, I saw that guy walking along the street, or along the highway or something. And that might be a clue for that, to direct law enforcement in the right direction. Tonight's missing and endangered case is Eddie Burl Tillman, age 37. He is 5'6". Weight is fluctuates between 135 and 145 pounds. He was last seen wearing a black shirt, denim jacket blue in color, denim shorts blue in color, and black and white Puma flip-flops. He was last seen driving his 2002 Chevy Silverado with Florida plates and plate number 610NYJ. The truck has never been found. There have been multiple reports and news coverage that a vehicle that matches the description had been found abandoned in the woods or was, in a junkyard. But when they went to go check on those vehicles, none of them were the exact Silverado, the cab and a half, the 2002 Chevy Silverado. And even if the plates are missing off it, they can find it, run the VIN number. But all of those reports of the vehicle being found are false. He disappeared, and so did his truck. Eddie had a temp plate additionally that was taped to the window behind the driver's seat that with a temporary plate for the transferring the title to Louisiana. It should also be noted that Eddie has several tattoos. On his left forearm, he has the name Caden, and on his right forearm, he has the name Maya. And on the back of his neck, he has his last name, Tillman. He may have also have additional tattoos. According to family and friends, they believe he had a couple of small ones that would not be seen easily because the clothes would cover him up. He vanished on 8/16 of 2023, but oddly, his cell phone stayed active until the first part of this year. The voicemail stopped taking voice messages in December of 2023. And with the FBI and local law enforcement is not saying how did his cell phone stay active for so long and without going, being turned off by the cell phone company. They won't say, but the way that they worded their answer, it does sound like it might have been somebody else who was paying the bill, and then they finally stopped paying it in January of 2024. Again, this is what he looks like. And that is a close resemblance. If that, I took this picture of this Silverado directly from the news release. I don't know if this is supposed to be a truck that looks like his, or it just gave the description as a 2002 Chevy Silverado white with peeling paint. So I'm guessing this is probably his own truck, but it's never been found. Now, a lot of people had suggested, online in different groups that maybe this might be a case for Chaos Divers, their YouTube channel, or another group like that, Mike Brown, or one of those other dive and rescue groups that, has YouTube, channels that go search bodies of water for missing people. In the area that he lived in, there is a river, but there isn't many there's not a lot of areas that would have deep water where a vehicle would, could be submerged. There are some swampy areas that he may have, accidentally drove off the road into, or maybe he self-harmed himself. But regardless, they need your help to contact them if you know anything. Again, if you have any information, no matter how small, please contact your local law enforcement, state patrol, county sheriff's department with your tip. It can be a crucial piece that helps close a case and brings closure to the family. And there's nothing preventing you from helping except yourself. Imagine if you were, or your loved one was missing, wouldn't you want someone else to reach out and help? You see something, say something. All right, so this is the link to the YouTube video on Charles Cullen, the angel of death. This is 60 minutes US. You can either click the link, write the link down, or just type in Angel of Death Charles Cullen in YouTube search box, and you'll find this interview. Excuse me. But that's it. That is the missing case and the trivia for tonight. Adventures with Nug and Adam Brown researchers. Adam, did I say Mike Brown or just I meant Adam? But yes, Chaos Divers. They work with Josh Cantu. He used to be the videographer for that other idiot in his channel. But when all of Nug and all of them left that idiot, they all formed their own groups. But they occasionally get together and help on doing searches. Like right now, I know Chaos Divers is they're going out on the road for I think 2 weeks to help with several cases. That Dahlia chick. Have you done anything on Denise Depew? No. I'll write it down though. I'm always open to suggestions. Most of the content, when it comes to like trivia and stuff that I do here is because of viewer suggestions. Sometimes Depew, I know who you meant, Heather. All right, Heather. And then write down today's date. We'll start doing that because obviously I'm terrible at remembering this stuff. Pee Wee Gaskin. Yeah, I've covered Pee Wee before, but I'm willing to do it again. I'm not joking. There is actually a religion, a group, a cult, if you will, that worships Pee Wee Gaskin. I wish I was joking about that. But the first time I ran across a reference to the church that of individuals who worship Pee Wee Gaskin, it was in an article on the Southern Poverty Law Center's website where they were talking about religious cults that have moved into America from either Korea or the Latin America. But Pee Wee Gaskin. Check out Jonah Barr, Levi. Barr, Levi. Nathaniel Barr, Jonah. Okay. Cross that up. Nathaniel Barr, Jonah. Pee Wee Gaskin is the only guy I've ever heard of who killed another inmate by ringing a prison phone to explode in the guy's ear. Wow. Pee Wee Gaskin is one strange ass individual. There's a rabbit hole of things out there when it comes to Pee Wee Gaskin that I would love to be able to find more information out on. Driving around with a hearse. I mean, that's just creepy within itself. I'm gonna make my suggestions to the cement shoes. We mountaineers are pretty crafty. Ironically, he was performing his hit while already in prison. That got Pee Wee Gaskin the death penalty. Harold Shipman. Kitty Coo. Dr. Harold Shipman. It takes a while to I have 3 or 4 different trivias that I'm working on at any time. If I finish one, like say like today I finished one and it's ready to go, I'll start another one immediately. So I always have another one, 3 more that I'm working on. Yeah, but as I get them finished, that's what becomes trivia the next week. You'd think you'd have already been on death row because his crimes were horrific. Pee Wee Gaskin, yeah. I mean, but you would think it would make sense, but I mean, look at what happened to Jeffrey Dahmer, and how many families in the state, were affected directly, or indirectly by Jeffrey and his crimes. Why they didn't put Jeffrey in the federal prison system and ship him off out of state? It doesn't make sense. It is a high profile, and then when Jeffrey, in population, they got to him, but he was always doing weird shit, behind bars, like making taking his food and making it look like he was eating victims, with ketchup as the blood and stuff like that for his food. I bought an original copy of Gaskin's autobiography because it's damn near unavailable, but I still haven't read it because I have to find where in storage. Oh. Well, I sent you an email about the coincidences with serial killers, I think last week. Yes, Kitty Q, I got that. Between the two with a similar name. One I did the trivia on, and then the other one, the sexual predator murderer, who has the same name. I think that's the last. If there's another email you're talking about, that's the last one I remember getting. Of course, and I could have gotten it if it was last week. I was gone, so it could be in there in my inbox and it's just buried. I have like 37,000 emails in my inbox. By putting your email on the internet like I do, you would be surprised by how much email, different emails I get. Some of it's spam, but a lot of it is just really weird, dark stuff from people you wouldn't think you'd ever hear from. Good evening, Super Chat Cat. I finally caught it alive. Did you hear that Stephanie and Larsa Schmida was up for parole? No, I did not. Schmida from True Crime Loser. I like Scott's content. Sorry, not contact. Content. Thanks for everything, Will. Great to see everyone. Have a great week. You as well, Sal, and thank you for being here with us. Hope you have a terrific week ahead, Sal. Stay safe out there. As Purple would say, you never know who's standing next to you, and you never know who will be knocking on your door next. It's true. You never know. I live in a gated community. I don't ever know who's going to be out my front door next. Some days it seems like they just let anybody into this damn community. Definitely Larsa on with Markeith Lloyd. There's an entire genre out there that I didn't even know about, where people live stream parole hearings, parole and revocation hearings. That's an entire genre on YouTube I didn't even know existed. They live stream it, or they make videos about it. I ran across the one, was it Marco something or other? Well, do ex-cops get more or less leniency before parole hearings? That's a good question that I don't know the answer to, Super Chat Cat. I know that one of the officers from from the George Floyd thing just got out of prison. One of those officers just got out, and I guess Derek Chauvin is being moved to another prison. Well, and then they all eventually get out. I mean, there's an ex-cop woman on death row in Louisiana named Antoinette something, who is an interesting case, a cop on death row for killing a fellow officer. Oh, wow. In Louisiana, you say? Right? Yeah, Louisiana. LOU. Death row. I don't know if I'll ever make a video or anything about it, but it sounds interesting to me, Smith shows. I know when it comes to law enforcement officers, when behind bars, if they're not on death row, they're in protective custody. You can't just put an former officer behind bars and expect them to live. Every inmate would love to put that notch on their, if you're already doing life, killing an officer, what a great way to get rid of another one. Became a member, level investigator. Well, thank you, Kitty Coo. I really appreciate you becoming a channel member. I bet Cash America Chauvin never makes it out. Too much clout for being the one to get him. Yeah. I mean, but it doesn't matter. Even in that, I mean, Chauvin's a bad example, but from what I understand, behind bars, that every one of them's got a target on their back, and another inmate would just love to be able to, notch that up on, that they were the ones that killed a cop behind bars. But Chauvin, somebody, in a high-profile case like George Floyd, yeah, they would definitely love to kill him. So they have to keep him in protective custody, with other people that are not in there for non-violent offenses. An off-duty brother officer. Antoinette Frank. Now I have a last name, but Kitty Q. Well, really nice of you to do. Gifted five memberships. Thank you. Robin Lynn, Little Darling, Bella Maya. Good evening and welcome. And Lynn and Meep, welcome to the channel membership. There's an entire playlist of videos that are just for channel members. Plus, in addition, as a channel member, you get early access to certain content. Every month, I try to post 3 to 4 videos where you get either 2 days or a day early access before anyone else sees them. They show up on the members only playlist. So thank you for being here. And I hope that, if you found trivia fun, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you're watching this after, the fact, leave a comment down below and let me know what, you didn't like about it or what you did. What do you think I should do to improve it? But that was really nice of you to do, Kitty Q. Thank you again. I have this weird affinity for remembering names. I'm terrible at names. I don't know. Anybody else like that? I see people all the time in my day to day life that either, professional, situation, or I'll be at the store or wherever it might be. And I know them, but I can never put a name to the face. Not a first name, not a middle name, last name, nothing. And I may have known them my entire life, or damn near my entire life, you know. But and I don't know them. I mean, I know them. They know me. They will greet me. Hey, Will, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, man, it's not bad. But I'm just sitting there staring at them like, what the hell is your name? And of course, I, I don't want to be rude and say, I care much about, what's going on in your life, but I can never remember your name. I know I've known you for 30 years or 40 years, but I don't remember your name. Can you tell me what your name is again? That's rude, especially if you run into the same people over and over again, and I still do not remember their names. Some people I remember a name, but then I can't put a picture to them. Like, who is that guy that I met when I was playing soccer, and his dad was the coach? Oh yeah, Craig. But what does Craig look like? And I can't remember. It's like Swiss cheese, I guess. Saying you're terrible with names, but you remember their faces. Yeah, and it doesn't matter if I've seen them, 15 times in the last month. I can never remember their names. There's a lot of people like that. Now, at the same time, though, if you ask me to describe what Ed Kemper looks like today, I can tell you every little nuance about Ed Kemper and he looks like today. Not the stuff in the 60 Minutes interview where he's wearing the blue denim jacket, shirt, and stuff like that. No, the Ed Kemper of right now today. I know what he looks like, and and that's like right here in my face, burned in. I remember the face, the name, and I can put it all together. But I can't remember people that I see every day. Weird. Well, if I email you my poem, my name is Matty. I hope you read it. I will definitely read it, Mel, if you email it to me. I'll give you my email address really quick again. That is my email address. Names aren't always important, but their characteristics certainly are. Yeah. Although you remember Ed Kemper like that too. It's bizarre. I've never met Ed Kemper either, but I can remember a lot about him. Well, at least I remember the important people like my wife and my children. I remember their names and their birthdays and anniversaries. And it's not like I'm completely lost. And then we got these nice little devices, computers we walk around with every day that most people never even put down ever. And got little reminders and all kinds of stuff in the calendars. Well, thank you, Mel. I will look forward to getting the email and reading your poem. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up tonight's trivia night. And I want to thank you everyone again, and to all those who just became channel members. Thank you again. I hope you like the content, and subscribe, and in your hangout. You're more than welcome to join the community here, and chat along with us as we play. We're not taking this seriously at all. If you don't know the answer, just guess. Use logical deduction. I can guarantee you none of the answers on any of the trivia nights are ever going to be mountain lion, Yugo, methamphetamine, Snooky, Jersey Shore, or 144,000. Those are never going to be the answers, but we joke about them because, well, we're kind of weird, and some of us are a little bit more twisted than others. But thank you again, everyone. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you all have a terrific week ahead, and stay safe out there. Until next time, bye.